Okay, so let's do a few applications. Page number 396 and 5.5, fractions and decimals. Finish this up. Example 10 says that, I'm trying to erase and read at the same time. Maybe I better not do that. Alright. If a shirt that normally sells for $27.99 is on sale for 1/3 off, what is the sale price on the shirt? Well, $27.99. We're looking for 1/3 of $27.99. What does of represent? Of always means multiply. So $27.99 times 1/3. Now remember, it's 1/3 off. So the answer we're going to get is how much money we're taking off $27.99, not how much the shirt's going to be. So just something to keep in mind as we do that. So I'm going to change the 1/3 to 0.33, because when you take 1 divided by 3, that's what you end up with. Once you multiply this out, you're going to end up with a number that is 9.33. Now again, that's how much money we're taking off the price of the shirt. That's not how much the shirt costs. So we're going to have to take $27.99 and take 9.33 off of it to find out how much the shirt actually is. And there's the cost we're going to pay for the shirt. $27.99 minus the 1/3 off, or the $9.33, gives us the total amount of the shirt, $18.66. Alright. Let's look at some geometric things on page 397, example 12. They give us a right circular cylinder with half a sphere on top. To the nearest tenth, find the total volume. If you look in the green above, they give you what the volume of a sphere is, and the volume of a sphere is pi r cubed times 4/3. So if I tell you that the radius of a sphere, a globe, a ball, a tennis ball, a golf ball, whatever, if I tell you that the radius of whatever object I'm looking at is 5, we're going to change that. Not put the 5 in the wrong place. That wouldn't be very good. Leave that as a 4/3. That will never change. Times 3.14. Remember, that's what pi always equals. Times the radius is 5, and we're going to cube that. Now, if you remember what this means, it means whatever number is in here, we're going to multiply it by itself 3 times. We're not taking 5 times 3. We're taking 5 times 5 times 5. 3 times we multiplied 5. That's what that means. So 4/3 times 3.14 times 125, because 5 times 5 is 25 times 5 is 125. Alright, now this is the area of a sphere. In this particular example, example 12, that circle on top is not an entire ball, it's a half a ball. So once we multiply all this through and we get an answer, we're going to take half of that. So we're going to take 4/3 times 3.14 times 125, and whatever answer that is, we're going to take half of it. And that will give us the area of the sphere. And if you look down at the bottom of page 395, it starts working along with what we're supposed to do. The very first example, or part of the solution, says 1/2 times 4/3 pi r cubed. Okay, so that would be the area of the sphere, and then we're going to divide. The 1/2 means we're going to take half of that once we get the answer. Okay, so what that does is that gives us the volume of that half a sphere. But we have more than the volume of a half a sphere. We also have below that the volume of a cylinder. And in the last section, we looked at the volume of a cylinder being pi r squared times h. So again, we know pi is 3.14. We were told that the radius, just like in the sphere, was 5, and we're going to square it instead of cube it. And we can look at the picture and see that the height of that guy is 10. So we have 3.14 times 25 times 10. So the volume of that cylinder then is going to be 3.14 times 25, and then we're going to multiply that times 10 and get 785. So the sphere, or the cylinder part of that, is 785. What we did before with the volume of a sphere with our 4/3 pi r cubed, we found that, and then we took half of it to find the top part here, what the area of that was. Now we add the 785 with whatever the answer was to here, which we didn't find that together. It actually ends up being 261.7. So this is the volume of that top guy, and we add those two together to get the volume of that entire trash can looking thing there. So that is how you go about finding the volume of a cylinder that kind of looks like a trash can. Page number 399, problem set, converting fractions to decimals, decimals to fractions. Make sure you look like on 13 to 20 that you're going to the hundredths column. You're not just going on and on and on, so you're stopping at 2 decimal places. Page 423 to 28, you're writing those decimals as fractions. And 29 to 34, writing the decimals as a mixed number. Now remember, look at number 30, 8.4. The numbers to the left of the decimal are not part of the fraction. So 8.4, the 8 is a whole number all by itself, nothing changes. The 0.4 means 4/10, and then that reduces to 2/5. Make sure you don't forget to reduce. 35 to 50, you've got some simplification there as much as possible, and remember, look at the instructions. It says write all answers as decimals, so that means probably the safest thing would be to change all your fractions to decimals first, and then do your squaring, multiplication, division, all that kind of stuff with the decimals and not deal with the fractions. Okay, then we've got some things there. Applying concepts, page 401. Look at number 54 just to glance at and see what one of the examples is they're giving you in the story problems. Price of gas. What does it cost to fill a 15.5 gallon gas tank? Well, 15.5 can actually be written as 15.5. And the price of the gas is 429.9 cents. Okay, that's cents, not dollars. So just ignore that it's even there and just leave it as 429.9. So what we're going to do is 429.9 per gallon, and we have 15.5 gallons. So if we have 2 gallons, it would be this times 2. 3 gallons, this much per gallon times 3. But since we have 15.5, it's going to be 429.9 times 15.5. And you end up with an answer of $66.63 when all is said and done. Alright, so go ahead and get started on that lesson and come back when you're ready to get started on 5.6.